Dad didn't know the mortgage. So where did her $40,000 actually go?
You'd be homeless without us. My mom said it loud enough for the entire table to go quiet. We were halfway through a family reunion dinner, relatives packed around, forks midair, everyone suddenly looking at me like I was some kind of charity case. She didn't stop there. We took her in when she had nothing, she added, shaking her head like she was exhausted from carrying me. Before we continue, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell for updates. Except that wasn't true. I hadn't lived with them in over a year. I had my own place, my own job, and every month, like clockwork, I was sending her money because she said they were struggling. I opened my mouth to speak, but she cut me off with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. "Don't make this awkward," she said quietly. That's when I pushed my chair back. And my dad looked at me like he had no idea what I was about to say. My dad's expression wasn't confused in a casual way. It was blank, like he was trying to catch up to a conversation he hadn't been invited into. "Lena," my mom said, her voice tightening just enough for me to hear it under the sweetness. "Sit down." No one else spoke. My aunt across from me lowered her glass slowly, eyes flicking between us. My cousin leaned forward, like this had just turned into something worth watching. I didn't sit. My chair scraped loudly against the floor, and it felt like the only honest sound in the room. "You said I'd be homeless without you," I said, keeping my voice even though my chest felt tight. "So I'm just trying to understand something." My mom's smile held, but it sharpened. "This isn't the time." "Then why?" I cut in, louder now. "Am I the one sending you money every month?" A ripple moved through the table. Someone shifted. Someone else whispered. My dad frowned. "What do you mean?" I turned to him. Really looked at him. "The mortgage," I said. The word landed wrong. I could see it immediately. His brows pulled together. "Mortgage?" he repeated slowly. "What mortgage?" For a second, just a second, my mom didn't speak. And that was the first time I realized he genuinely didn't know. My dad didn't blink. He just stared at me like I'd said something in a language he didn't understand. "What mortgage?" he asked again, slower this time. The room went completely still. I felt every pair of eyes shift not toward me anymore, but toward my mom. She laughed, too quickly, too light. "Oh my God, Lena," she said, waving a hand like I'd just made a harmless mistake. "You're confusing things. Sit down." I didn't move. "No," I said quietly. "I'm not." Her smile tightened. "You help out sometimes? That's all. Don't make it sound like—" Every month, I interrupted. My voice was steady now. Same amount, same day. That got people's attention. My cousin Jason leaned forward. "Wait, how much are we talking about?" "Jason!" my mom snapped, her tone sharper than before. "This doesn't concern you." "It kind of does if you're saying she'd be homeless," he shot back. A few people nodded. The energy had shifted. It wasn't comfortable anymore. It was curious, suspicious. My dad was still looking at me. Not angry, not defensive, just trying to piece something together. "Lena," he said carefully, "what exactly have you been paying for?" I swallowed, suddenly aware of how loud my heartbeat was. "The mortgage," I repeated. "You told me things were tight, that you were behind." My mom's chair creaked as she shifted. "I said we needed help," she corrected, her voice colder now. "Don't twist my words." I let that sit there for a second. Then I reached into my bag. Her voice dropped instantly. "Don't—" I paused, fingers brushing my phone. "Don't what?" I asked, looking at her. Her eyes locked onto mine, no smile now, no softness, just warning. "Don't make a scene," she said under her breath. I held her gaze. Then I pulled my phone out anyway. "I can show the transfers," I said, turning the screen slightly so the table could see. "Dates, amounts, everything." My dad leaned forward. My mom didn't move. And for the first time that night, she didn't try to stop me. That's when I realized she wasn't sure what I was about to show. And neither was I. What exactly had I been paying into all this time? Put your phone away. My mom's voice cut through the room, sharp, controlled, but louder than before. That did it. People weren't just watching anymore, they were listening. I didn't lower the phone. Why? I asked, my thumb hovering over the screen. It's just numbers, right? She didn't answer that. Instead, she turned to the table with a tight smile. This is being blown out of proportion. She sends money sometimes like any daughter who wants to help her parents. Sometimes, I repeated. I tapped the screen. The banking app opened, and there it was, line after line. Same amount, same date. Every month, I turned the phone toward my dad first. $2,400, I said, every month. For the last year and a half, he leaned closer, squinting. Around us, the table shifted again, people craning, whispering, doing the math in their heads. 18 months? Jason muttered. That's, what, over 40 grand? No one laughed this time. My dad's eyes moved slowly across the screen, then up to me. You've been sending this to your mother? He asked. Yes. For the mortgage? That's what she told me. The silence that followed wasn't empty anymore. It was heavy. My dad turned his head, very slowly, and looked at my mom. Denise? She didn't look at him right away. She was staring at me instead, her expression tight, calculating. Then she exhaled, like she was tired of explaining something obvious. It's for the house, she said. Expenses, maintenance, things add up. My dad didn't blink. We paid off the house 3 years ago. The words didn't sound loud, but they hit like something breaking. A few people actually gasped. Someone dropped a fork. I felt my stomach drop, not because I didn't believe him, but because I did. I turned back to my mom. Slowly. You said you were behind, I said. My voice came out quieter now. You said if I didn't help, you could lose the house. Her jaw tightened. I said we needed support, she snapped. After everything we've done for you, that's not unreasonable. That's not what you said, I replied. No one interrupted this time. No one defended her. The room had shifted completely. I took a step closer to the table, my hand tightening around my phone. Then where did it go? I asked. My mom didn't answer. She just looked at me. And for the first time in my life, she had nothing ready to say. If the house was already paid off, then where had $40,000 actually gone? Denise. My dad stood up so abruptly, his chair scraped back into the wall. He wasn't loud. That made it worse. Answer her. My mom didn't move. For a second, I thought she might double down, laugh it off, redirect, do what she always did. But she didn't. She just sat there, shoulders stiff, eyes flicking briefly around the table like she was calculating something. I already did, she said finally. It went to the house. That's not an answer, I said. My voice didn't shake this time. Something had shifted in me. The confusion was gone. All that was left was clarity and a slow, rising anger. I looked at her, really looked, and suddenly pieces started clicking into place. The repairs she mentioned last year never happened. The emergency expenses that always came up right before I sent money. The time she told me not to stress your father with details. My grip tightened around my phone. You said the roof needed fixing, I said. It never did. She didn't respond. You said the plumbing was failing, I continued. Dad, did you ever call anyone for that? My dad's expression hardened. No. A murmur spread through the table. I kept going. And the trip to Arizona? I asked, my eyes locked on hers. You told me that was for a family obligation. My cousin across the table spoke up hesitantly. Wait, weren't you at that resort in Scottsdale? I saw pictures. My mom shot her a look so sharp It shut her up instantly, but it was too late. Another voice chimed in. And the car, someone else said. Didn't you just get a new one? I felt something settle in my chest, not doubt. Confirmation. You've been using it, I said quietly. Haven't you? Her head snapped back toward me. Don't be dramatic. Dramatic? I echoed. You told me you were going to lose your home. And I told you we needed help, she fired back, louder now. After everything I've done for you, you think this is some kind of crime? No one backed her up. Not this time. I shook my head slowly. No, I said. I think it's a lie. The word hung there. Heavy, final. My dad exhaled slowly, running a hand over his face like he was trying to wake himself up from something. Then he looked at her again. And this time, there was no confusion left. Is there anything else, he asked quietly, that I don't know? My mom didn't answer. She didn't argue. She didn't even look at him. She just stared down at the table, silent. And in that silence, everything started to fall apart. No one spoke for a long time. It wasn't the kind of silence you could brush off or laugh through. It sat there, pressing down on everyone at the table, forcing them to look at her, really look at her for the first time that night. My mom didn't lift her head, and that was the answer. My dad let out a slow breath, like something inside him had finally given way. The house is paid off, he said again, quieter now, like he was confirming it to himself. There is no mortgage. I felt something cold settle in my chest. I know, I said, because now it was obvious. Every late night call, every urgent message, every time she said, "We're struggling, Lena, we might lose everything," it wasn't panic. It was strategy. You lied to me, I said, my voice steady, even though my hands weren't. Every month. She finally looked up, and there was no apology there. No guilt. Just irritation. I did what I had to do, she said flatly. You owe us. I raised you. I put a roof over your head your entire life. A quiet shift moved through the room, not agreement discomfort. That doesn't give you the right to take from me, I said. I didn't take anything, she snapped. You gave it. Because you told me you needed it to keep your home. Her jaw tightened, but she didn't deny it. That was the part that landed the hardest. Not just the money, the intention. I let out a slow breath, feeling something inside me finally click into place. You didn't need help, I said. You needed control. Her eyes flashed, but she didn't argue. And that was enough. My dad pushed his chair back, not as sharply as I had, but with finality. How much? He asked me without looking at her. About $43,000, I said. He closed his eyes briefly. When he opened them again, something had changed. Not anger, something colder. We're going to figure out exactly where that money went, he said. My mom let out a short, disbelieving laugh. Oh, please. You're acting like I committed a crime. No one joined her. Not a single person. My aunt looked away. My cousin stared down at his plate. Even the ones who used to agree with her stayed quiet now. Because the story had flipped, and everyone knew it, I slipped my phone back into my bag. I'm done sending anything, I said. Her head snapped toward me. You don't get to just... I do. I cut in. It's my money. That shut her up. For once, the dinner didn't recover after that. People started standing, gathering their things, murmuring awkward goodbyes. Conversations broke into smaller, quieter pieces. No one wanted to be in the middle of it anymore. But no one came to her defense either. That part mattered. A few weeks later, the quiet felt different in my apartment. Not tense. Not waiting for something. Just mine. I sat at my kitchen table, laptop open, going through my bank statements again, but this time, not with confusion, with clarity. Every transfer, every date, it all lined up, and it all stopped. I'd already met with someone just to understand my options. Nothing dramatic, nothing rushed, just facts, documentation, what could be done and what couldn't. For the first time, I wasn't reacting. I was deciding. My phone buzzed softly on the table. I glanced down. Dad. That still felt new. I answered, "Hey." I said. There was a pause on the other end. Then, "Hey." His voice sounded different, quieter, careful. "I've been going through things," he said. "Accounts, statements." I didn't say anything. I let him continue. "There's a lot I didn't know," he admitted. "I figured," I said. Another pause. "I should have asked more questions," he added. "A long time ago." That landed. Not as an excuse, just truth. "Yeah," I said. "You probably should have." He didn't argue. "I'm sorry," he said instead. I leaned back slightly in my chair, staring at the ceiling for a second. It didn't fix anything, but it wasn't nothing. "We'll figure out what comes next," he said. Separately. I understood what he meant, and I didn't ask for details. "Okay," I said. We hung up not long after. No big resolution. No dramatic reconciliation. Just a shift. That night, I sat on my couch, my phone in my hand. Her name was still there. Same contact, same number. But it didn't feel the same. For years, that name came with pressure, obligation, guilt wrapped up as responsibility. Now it just felt clear. I tapped it, paused for half a second, then scrolled down, delete contact. The screen asked me to confirm. I didn't hesitate. I pressed it, and just like that, it was gone. No message, no announcement. Just a quiet decision. I set my phone down and leaned back, exhaling slowly. For the first time in a long time, nothing felt like it was hanging over me. No expectations, no hidden demands, no invisible debt, just space. And it hit me then, not all at once, but steady and certain. She was wrong. I was never the one who needed them to survive. If anything, they needed me. And now, they didn't have me anymore. For the first time, every dollar I earned stayed where it belonged, with me. And for the first time, I wasn't funding someone else's life. I was finally living my own.
So, was it desperation or a calculated lie she thought he would never mention?